Coming up on today's wrestling news, an AEW star has been hospitalised.
Adam Cole's returning sooner rather than later.
A WWE star's injured and set to miss WrestleMania.
And a title-for-title dream rematch is booked for this week's Dynamite.
I'm Adam Wilborn.
I'm Michael Hamflett.
And this is the news. So some terrifying news that broke last night to tell you about. An AEW star, hospitalised. Just really worrying this. The star being, of course, Luchasaurus. Killswitch, I suppose, technically is his name right now, but we all know him as Luchasaurus.
Yeah.
Former Trios, Tag Team and TNT champion, of course. But his fiancée on Friday found him collapsed. He was rushed to the hospital. His blood oxygen level was below 80%, and they determined he had pneumonia in both lungs.
Ugh.
He was apparently simply days away from permanent lung damage. He's been on oxygen in the days that have followed. I think his condition has seemingly improved somewhat, but obviously there is no word on an in-ring return, and Fightful Select, who reported this, did get permission from the family before they put this out in public. So promising signs, but considering he's been, week in, week out working, you had no idea about this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is he's got the treatment that he needs. The last seconds saving him from, like I say, permanent lung damage is really worrying, and we hope he gets well really soon. I really like Killswitch. We were lucky enough to interview him a while back, and he was lovely before. Well, he was lovely as Luchasaurus. He wasn't lovely as Killswitch, and we all anticipate a babyface turn for him soon enough. I have no doubt, if all goes well and things clear up, Christian Cage will make light of this in a promo eventually. But most important thing is, he's getting the care that he needs, and get well soon from all of us here at WhatCulture.
Absolutely, yeah. They jangled Luchasaurus at Wembley, didn't they? When you saw his name flash up on the screen, the whole building went nuts for it. And just like a scary, scary story. It really sends a shiver up me. It's great when things turn out okay and people get to things just in time. But I hate those stories when there's like a medical emergency and the doctors can then tell you, you were X days away from this or X hours away from this. It's one of those fragility of life things that gets you really kind of spooked, and it's nicer to hear this. And as well, just shout out to Fightful for the responsible journalism in this sort of case as well. Friday, obviously time was taken for things to settle, and they've reported it when permitted to, and all good all the way around.
Yeah, pneumonia is one of those things. I've never had pneumonia, but I remember my dad having it.
Same,
it's one of those things where it can sort of trick you. You may not even know you have it. You think, they can't bloody shake this cold.
Yeah.
And then, like you say, what is it? Below 8% blood oxygen levels, which is really dangerous. It can just turn like that, and thank goodness that his fiancée was there, because things could have been a lot worse.
We talk a lot of the time about injuries in wrestling. We're going to get onto another one in a minute, but lung damage is the sort of thing that really makes you wonder what you can do as a wrestler, because we hear about it all the time, and I've never taken a bump in my goddamn life, but you see it in matches. Wrestler cardio looks incredible, doesn't it? There can't be many cardio athletes quite like pro wrestlers. Lung damage suggests that could be retirement worthy if you can't do it. So, all the best to Luchasaurus in his recovery. And yes, stick a pin in it for now, but expect Christian Cage one day to say something absolutely horrific about this. That's the briousness. In slightly lighter news, and somewhat surprising news, I would say as well, about AEW injuries, Fightful Select also provided an update on the return for Adam Cole. One of them situations now, we recently passed the year mark of him injuring himself in that devastating Grand Slam accident where he hops off the ramp, and obviously
so innocuous, wasn't it?
See immediately his ankle going and trying to hobble around the ring and stuff, and it realistically impacted whatever they were going to do with Better Than You Baby, and we had the Devil, and just it all felt like it fell apart. And who doesn't love Adam Cole anyway? Dude's a sweetheart. But Fightful Select said that he's been sidelined for over a year, but that could be changing very soon. Fightful Select has learned backstage within All Elite Wrestling is that they're hopeful and even expecting to get Adam Cole back, quote, sooner rather than later, and the wheels have already been put in motion to prepare for that on screen. He was backstage at All Out as well, walking around without crutches or without a boot or anything like that. And Cole was on the road with AEW earlier this year, the report does note, and because it seemed like, and that stopped because it seemed like it was slowing his progress down. You remember there was the weeks where he was giving Wardlow the evil eyes and all that kind of thing. So they elected to sort of take him back off television, which I think has added to the strain and the sort of confusion around his return, because you think, right, this is the road to recovery, and then he's gone again. And you're like, is this something we should be worried about? This is a man that obviously had to take significant time off for a scary sounding head injury a couple of years ago. Took his lumps, to understate things, in NXT when he was doing double treble duty for Triple H in sort of 2019, early 2020. So like his to Adam Cole's return, following the path that Fightful Select suggests here. I'd love him back on television. I miss him, and he's a wrestler that when he's not around, I think about.
Yeah,
I love Adam Cole.
As does your wife.
Too much, if anything. And like, look, I can't really fault her for that. She gets to look at me, or she gets to look at Adam Cole. I get it. Get well soon too to Adam Cole, and fingers crossed this report is true and we see him on telly sooner rather than later.
Really good news, this report, like you say. Not necessarily a confirmation that he's going to be back in time for the 5th anniversary or is it 5th? 5 years of Dynamite, that's the best way of putting it.
Anniversary's really confused me. This sort of thing, yeah.
Or whether it would be back before even the end of the year. But just nice to read that there is light at the end of that tunnel. He's had a really rough time of it, not just with this ridiculously prolonged injury from such an innocuous thing, like I said. But like you mentioned, the head injury stuff and him talking about that. I remember him saying how difficult just day-to-day stuff. He's had like tumultuous stuff going on in his personal life. He's moved house, hasn't he, and all that. I just want to see him back in the ring. I'm back doing what he loves. Regardless how you felt about the Better Than You Baby stuff, I mean, it's Adam Cole, come on. No one really sits there. You don't like him.
Oh, God, no. That's two heavy sort of injury stories in a row. I just want to like move away from wrestlers getting injured and potentially have massive consequences to their injured. So I'm just glad to get to this third story.
Before we get that, though, my pitch, as I mentioned to you, because you pointed out to me, Big Justice coming to AEW Dynamite.
Yeah.
You know it's all about the boom.
Somebody went to Costco the other day.
It's a dream.
We eagerly await whatever goodies remain in your house to bring in the office.
I need a card. How do I get a card? What do I have to do to get a card? I looked on the list of jobs that you qualify with, and it's like barrister. I was like, YouTuber. Not there.
Idiot on the internet. I can't find me. No.
Costco.
I think I could with the double cookie thing. It's big. Basically, it's a big biscuit. I'm confident I could smash that.
Have you seen the size of the pizza?
No, but I want to.
18-inch.
I don't like.
Thank you very much.
It's like that Scroobius pip line about a mousetrap. All I see is cheese and a challenge. That's what I think when I think of big slices of pizza. Like.
Every day there would be a birthday cake of this size in the office. Whose birthday is it? Who cares? I don't know, AEW Dynamite, I don't know.
It's mine every day since I got a Costco card.
Hey, at Adam Wilborn, hit me up.
Yeah, at Michael Amflett too, I want the Costco. Or book either of us on Cameo for nonsense like this, direct to your personal inbox, and then maybe we'll be able to save enough Cameo dollars to buy our way into a Costco, I don't know.
Moving on though, some better news. Oh no, worse news in fact.
Day,
yeah, it's a bad one. We got some good news in the fourth story.
Yeah.
And we had Adam Cole, so we balanced it out.
Yeah.
But yes, Ilja Dragunov is injured and looks set to miss WrestleMania. This was announced on last night's episode of Monday Night Raw as Gunther was walking to the ring before he, set up his title match with Sami Zayn for next week. It was revealed that yes, Ilja Dragunov sustained an injury during a house show match with Gunther over the weekend, and he's expected to be out for 6 to 9 months, which, doing the math, trig and calc, means probably he's not going to make it to WrestleMania.
Well, WrestleMania falls in the 7, but then it would require him to be back to build something as well.
And
the way wrestling works, it's almost like they want to keep him as a post-WrestleMania surprise for the new...
Yeah, sucks this. Awful timing.
Yeah.
He was doing great stuff on Monday Night Raw. You mentioned a lot, like how he would lose, but his aura would no way be diminished, and you could easily book him into a match with Gunther on a week's notice. And now, arguably, you've got more fuel for that fire now, unfortunately. But never nice to hear a wrestler getting injured. And wish him well in his recovery. No doubt when he comes back, the landscape's going to be very different, but he's no doubt still going to be right at the top of that card. Yeah,
he's had a brilliant year, a really, really brilliant year. Like a candidate for, and we're getting into this conversations about this sort of thing now, but a low-key candidate for Wrestler of the Year. If you think not just of the quality of these matches, that he's lost more than he's won on Monday Night Raw, but also what he was doing as NXT champion before he left as well. That show...
Should have dropped the title to Tony D at Stand and Deliver, but yeah.
That show always needs experienced hands to sort of... You can't, we've talked about this a million times, you can't just have young wrestlers wrestling other young wrestlers in order for wrestlers to get better, and there weren't many that was guaranteeing the younger wrestlers a better match than Dragunov. Not that Dragunov's an old man, but he was just a more experienced hand.
He was the perfect person to hand over to Trick, really, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
He really got the best out of him, I thought.
So he's had a wonderful year, and obviously the style at which he wrestles lends itself to potential knocks like this, but just the time frame is brutal. Like the Royal Rumble's a definite miss. That means the likelihood that the build to WrestleMania is going to be missed. Even if he was to sort of have a John Cena miracle recovery, it's tight. But yeah, he got the Raw after WrestleMania. I mean, you were the only person in the building that didn't like it because of the Tony D.
I was conflicted. I did like him being on it, but I was like, why is he coming on the show then? He's an NXT champion still.
He got that last year and he got a great reaction.
Yeah, he's one of those few, like, not few, but he's an exemplary case of you can bring people up from NXT now and people don't just go, how's this guy?
Yeah, they're going to double that this time next year because he'll have a full 6 months on the main roster to introduce himself to that audience as well. So the pop, I think, when he returns, as you say, in-built program we've gone through if they want to do it. There'll be light at the end of this tunnel. It's just a shame that the tunnel's quite long.
Yeah, get well soon, Ilja.
And kind of an opposite to all of the stories today in terms of something right now when we didn't expect it, featuring at least one wrestler you thought at one point may never ever wrestle again and recover from injury. So this does sort of turn the news round at least for today. Tomorrow night's Dynamite will feature a dream match between two long-standing rivals in what stands to be a technical classic because Ricochet will face Will Ospreay. Tony Khan looked up and down and thought we need two of them. The third match between Bryan Danielson and Kazuchika Okada will take place on tomorrow's Dynamite. Both titles will be on the line, and Okada's will cease to be on the line after the 20-minute mark per the rules of the Continental Classic, so we're almost definitely getting a finish as well.
Yeah.
What?
Amazing.
It's happening. Danielson...
Well, we're getting a 20-plus minute match between Danielson and Okada, basically, that Danielson's going to win.
Yeah, he tweeted he was meditating in the woods and he was talking about, his upcoming preparation for the match with Jon Moxley and what it means to him and all that sort of stuff. And then it hit him that he wants to right another sort of wrong in his career, I guess. They're 1-1 as a result of Forbidden Door and Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
So this is very much a decider. But all the belts on the line for all the marbles. You could have just an out of nowhere booking decision should one of them win the other one's belt.
I want to retire. Oh, bollocks, I've got 2 titles now.
Yeah, imagine Okada just taking it for the Elite and Jon Moxley. What now? Like, he ruffled Jungle Boy's hair the other week. There's a bit of...
Birdie joins the Elite.
And it was all... we were introduced to Birdie at Wembley ahead of the Elite Kadiptina. And buying into the Breeders'
Also, it would be really funny if Mox has gone to all this trouble of betraying Bryan Danielson, choking him out with a bag, and then Okada went, oh, what was the point of that then?
No, you're a stupid bitch. I'll take that, thanks very much. Yeah, huge, absolutely massive match for Dynamite. As I say, adds to the Will Ospreay and Ricochet, Hangman Page versus Juice Robinson, and Serena Deeb versus Britt Baker, currently advertised. Expect a bit more. 5 years of Dynamite. It's amazing. It is amazing. Yeah. And this will feel huge.
Yeah, second biggest show of the week after NXT's arrival on the C-Dub, of course, so really looking forward to that.
I am laughing and don't disagree. That's my problem.
But this is a massive, ridiculous that we're getting this on TV, as you mentioned, alongside all the other stuff. I mean, you would presume Danielson wins in 21 minutes.
Oh, but the 15 to 20 minute mark of that match.
It's a rainmaker out of nowhere.
Yeah. Aye, the possibility of the Young Bucks trying to get involved to have it under the 20 minutes, it's going to be brilliant. Yeah. It's going to be brilliant.
Really, really looking forward to that. And get well soon to all the other wrestlers that we mentioned in this
Stay healthy, wrestlers. You do a very dangerous job and we love you for it.
Yes, indeed. Let us know your thoughts on that and everything we discussed in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Simon Miller coming your way with ups and downs, of course, later on today. But for now, why not check out this video right here? We'll see you soon.